talk about one thing that can improve your health, mood, regulation, and muscle growth. And it's one supplement, and you can take it for the rest of your life, and it's free. Would you take that supplement? Chances are you probably would. And the thing that we're talking about today is sleep. Sleep is amazing for muscle growth, cognitive function, mood regulation, and every health benefit under the sun, and it costs you nothing. So today we're going to go over sleep, how it affects muscle growth, and everything included. So who am I? For those of you who don't know me, which is probably most of you watching this, my name is Chance Pomeranke. I went from 125 pounds to 197 pounds in the first 2 years of lifting, and I ended up bulking up pretty heavy, and I got a little bit too fat, and I had to cut back down. And now I'm an online fitness coach, and I teach men how to do that exactly what I did, except without all the mistakes I made. So I teach men how to build muscle while doing it, and how to do it properly in a way that they can build the muscle, stay lean, get the six pack, lift heavy ass weights. So why do you care, and what's the correlation to muscle growth or sleep? So with my YouTube channel, what I want to do is just learn and share the things that I'm learning. Right now, I'm 21 years old, and I am constantly in a state of learning and working as hard as I possibly can to achieve my goals. And one of my goals was fitness, and it's my love and passion. So what I want to share with you guys is what I learned along the journey of growing my business with fitness and everything I learned about fitness. And today that topic will be sleep, because sleep's a big part of fitness, and it's something I have struggled with a lot myself. And once optimized, it makes a big difference. So I just want to clarify the inspiration for this video is Alex Mosey, a few people, Hamza, Jack Hopkins, as well as Brandon Carter. There's a lot of YouTubers I watch a lot while I'm driving or at the gym to learn a lot of things, and I just want to clarify that a lot of the things I talk about on my channel will probably sound a lot like some other content creators for at least a while, just until I can get my skin in the game. What's going on here? So a lot of the things I will share will be credited to other YouTubers I have watched. I do not want to sit here and pretend like all the information I'm sharing is my own, because it's not. However, I want to share my unique journey and how implementing these things has helped me in my life. Okay, now getting into the actual sleep portion of it. There's a quote that I absolutely love by Benjamin Franklin. It is called "Fatigue is the best pillow." And basically, this is pretty self-explanatory, but what it means is you'll sleep the best. It'll be the easiest to sleep when you work really, really hard. And sleep is easier when you work. So before we optimize rest, it'll be easier to sleep if you work really hard, which you should be doing. And as men, this is my opinion, we should be working 60 to 80 hours a week anyways. There's no reason you can't be working 68 hours a week. We live in a third world country, or at least I do, and most of my viewers probably will be too. We got to protect, we got to provide, man. We got to be working. We have got to be working. Side note, I was just talking to a coworker today about how people in America are extremely lazy, and we don't take the opportunities we have and use them, because people who come from third world countries, they come here and they work 80 hours a week like it's nothing. So let's get to work. Let's work more. Let's make more money. And let's optimize our sleeping in the best shape of our entire lives. And if those things don't sound like things you're interested in, get off of my channel now, because those are the things we're going to be talking about in the future too. All right, if it'll load here, let's go to supplements. Okay, caffeine. I am a caffeine addict. All right, so caffeine is my drug of choice. And I say that with pride. All right, so for all those who love caffeine, it helps to cut it out at 2 p.m. I'm going to be honest, I do not do this. I don't. Today I probably did because I was busy working, but most days I drink caffeine up until like 6 or 8 p.m. You know, I'm going to stop that. But I'm just sharing this information with you guys because it's stuff I'm learning and doing now too. So I'm not preaching from above. I'm preaching to me when I say this stuff. And that's going to go for all of my content as well. So let's cut it off at 2 p.m. The reason for this is because caffeine has a half-life of about 5 to 6 hours. And what that means is if you drink an energy drink that has 200 milligrams of caffeine, in 5 to 6 hours, 100 milligrams of that caffeine will still be in your system. So that's only for one energy drink. So if you have 400 milligrams of caffeine, which will usually be 2 energy drinks, 200 milligrams of that caffeine will be in your system 6 hours later. That's why we got to cut it off at 2 p.m. So it's a low enough caffeine amount to the point where it won't affect our sleep. So even if you can fall asleep without cutting the caffeine out after 2 p.m., it's actually because you've fatigued your adrenals and your caffeine. The caffeine you're consuming is no longer doing anything because you've drinking so much of it and you've grown accustomed to it. It's the same thing with people who do drugs. So the recommended daily average is 400 milligrams a day. I'm gonna be honest, that's not a lot. It's not a lot. For me, it's not. And so let's track it. Let's track the amount of caffeine we're drinking to make sure that we're not going over the 400 limit. That's something I'm trying to do myself as well. I want to stick to the 400 milligram limit because I usually drink closer to 800 milligrams to 1,000 a day. Not ready. So stimulants block a chemical in your brain called adenosine, which is one of the chemicals that makes you feel sleepy, which is why it gives you so much energy because it blocks off the sleep chemicals in your brain. Makes sense. So if it's not cut off soon enough, it will keep your nervous system active, affecting your deep sleep. That's no bueno. We don't want that. Also, less REM sleep. And REM sleep is when your brain recovers and processes memories. So caffeine and nicotine and other stimulants reduce the time spent in REM sleep. So even if you're getting 8-9 hours of sleep, that REM sleep will be affected by your caffeine or stimulant intake. Just something to keep in mind. So LTDR, cut it off at 2 p.m. and try to stay within that 400 milligram range. Meals and drinks before bed. This is a big one. This is one I have done really good about. Not to toot my own horn, but cut out drinks and meals 2 hours before bed. That's minimum. I'd suggest even 3, just because if you're drinking the amount of water you should be drinking, which is a gallon for most people, you're gonna use the restroom a lot, and so it's good to cut that water intake out 2 hours a day. So the way I do this to make it even easier is I front load my water, which just means I drink most of it throughout the day, and by like 4 p.m. I'm already drinking my gallon of water. It's pretty easy to do though if you wake up pretty early. So when you eat prior to sleep, your body is busy digesting food instead of getting ready for sleep. But your body actually uses a lot of energy to digest food. And so if you're eating right up before bed, it will affect your sleep. Big meals before bed can cause indigestion or acid reflux, causing you to wake up more during your sleep. No bueno. Too much liquids will make you use the bathroom too much. We kind of went over that a little bit. And some of the stuff I'm going to say might sound a little bit repetitive, but that's because all of it is correlated to the same topic. So bear with me here. It is a lot of information, but if you just take 2 or 3 things away from this slide presentation, I promise you your sleep will be way better and you'll get more gains because of it. So too much liquids will make you use the bathroom. Sugary foods or big carbs right before bed will spike your blood sugar, causing less deep sleep and possibly a groggy morning. Cut out drinks and meals 2 hours before bed. No sugary treats before bedtime. All right. Pretty simple, straightforward. Sleep supplementation. Now I love this one, and everyone who seems to work out loves supplements, and it's like the first thing they ask me about. They don't ask me about workouts or diet. They just ask, what supplements do you take? And so here's a little fun part to go over. So the one I'm currently taking is called Sleep A2Z, which is basically the offline version of the Unisum tablets. I haven't tried these ones, but I want to try them. I just don't have the money. Well, I just don't want to spend the money on the Unisum tablets until I finish these ones. If that makes sense. I'm weird like that. So the other one I used to take, which my wife really liked, was the NutriCost Sleep Aid Complex. That one's super cheap. It's like $12. I would suggest that one to start. That's a really good one, actually. Unisum tablets. So Unisum tablets. The reason I'm interested in those is because NyQuil. If you ever taken it, I recently started taking it, and it's fire. It knocks you out crazy. The sleep chemical that they put in NyQuil is what's in this without the stuff for your sickness. So it's fire. The other one is Gorilla Sleep by Gorilla Mode. That one's pretty good. I take 4 capsules of those. I took 4 of them yesterday, and it doesn't necessarily like make you fall asleep super fast, but it does put you into deeper sleep when you do fall asleep. If that makes sense. So I do like that one. I can't particularly say it's better than this one though. In full honesty. So these are optional, but definitely will help and can be well paired with the other habits and things moving forward. Definitely recommend it though. If you don't have any, I would get the NutriCost Sleep Aid to start, and then I would go for the Unisum tablets because those are both pretty cheap. The only reason I got this one is because they don't have Unison tablets on Amazon for some reason. All right, bed, blankets, pillows, and sheets. Now, some of the advice I'm going to give you, I'm not following to a T, but like I said, it's preaching to me as well, not just you guys. So, the California King memory foam, absolute must, absolute must. You should spend $1,000 to $2,000 on your bed. Like, I'm dead serious. I'm not trying to be hyperbole. I'm being dead serious. You should invest a good amount of money on your bed because we spend more than half our lives asleep. Okay, I think it's 1.5. It's a lot of our life we spend asleep. Use a weighted blanket. This is a game changer. LTDR on the bed thing. Just buy a super comfortable bed and spend a good amount of money on your bed because you're gonna sleep in it a lot. So use a weighted blanket, and you want a weighted blanket that's about 10% of your body weight. I don't know why that is. It's just that's what research says. To use a weighted blanket that's 10% of your body weight. That's what I use. I'm 175 pounds. I use an 18-pound weighted blanket, and it's perfect. So memory foam cold pillow. I got mine from the mall. My wife actually bought it for me, and it's super super comfortable. It keeps my head ice cold. Pause, and I get really good sleep with that one. So, Egyptian high thread count cotton bed sheets, also an absolute must. Super comfortable. If you don't use bed sheets, start using them. They're super comfortable. That's all. This is a must. You gotta use good nice stuff for your sleep. Buy a white noise machine. Okay, so they use these for toddlers and babies. So if that doesn't say anything to you about how it affects sleep, then it should, because babies sleep a lot, and babies use white noise machines to sleep, and we're all just a bunch of big babies. So you should use a white noise machine too. I love it. Me and my wife use one every single night, and it helps me sleep a lot. So it blocks out loud noises or unexpected noises. So if you have dogs that bark a lot, you would appreciate a white noise machine because it'll kind of block it out and you won't hear the barking as much. The sound actually helps your brain to relax, and using it regularly will form neural pathways in your brain associating this sound to sleep. And that's just a bunch of fancy jargon to saying if you use the sleep machine enough, when you turn it on, it'll be easier to sleep. And you're less likely to wake up in the middle of the night. So these are like $20 off Amazon. Just go on Amazon, type in white noise machine, buy one. Super fire. Oops. Cold room. So honestly, I like my room super cold when I sleep, but my wife can't handle it as cold as I like it. But I like it like 60 degrees. Anywhere between 60 to 67 degrees Fahrenheit is amazing. I think that's like 14 to 15 degrees Celsius for those of you who use Celsius for whatever reason. So the cold room just will help you fall asleep faster. I'm not exactly sure why, but if you've tried it, you should know that it's fire. Use cold room. But cold room increases deep sleep. It will prevent you from overheating, and it prevents wake ups or sweating. So if you've ever taken a nice nap after school or whenever you wake up sweating and gross, this will prevent that for you. You're gonna keep doing it. So cooler temperatures assist your body's natural production in melatonin, which is your body's hormone that regulates sleep. So I just said I didn't know why that cold room helps you sleep, but I also put this information here. So I guess I did know, right? Memory fails me a lot. Chili pad. So a sleep topper that flows water through it. That's what a chili pad is. It's like $600. Again, that's pretty expensive. I know. But if we're working 68 hours a week, we can afford $600. Right, right, right. All right. So chili pad. I don't have one of these yet, but I really, really, really want to get one soon. It's an investment, but it definitely will help because, again, going back to the cooled room thing, the 60 to 67 degrees with the cold pillow sheets, all that, you can kind of see how it's all starting to come together. You got the white noise machine, the pillowcases, the pillow sheets, the chili pad. I'm telling you, when you do all these things, it gets super comfortable. Like it's like you want your room to become like a cave where you just walk in and it's cold and it's dark and you have blackout curtains. I don't know if I put that in one of the slides here, but you need blackout curtains. You want to turn off every single light in your room, and on top of that, wear an eye mask. I do that also, and it's absolutely amazing. You want it super dark. Pause. You want it to be like Batman's cave, like everything black. Okay? Going back to the chili pad, it's an investment, but it definitely will help. I don't know if I said that already, but especially for hot sleepers. Socks, hot shower. Okay, so I don't know why the socks thing is like a meme or whatever on Instagram, or if it's like I used to hear people make fun of other people for wearing socks to sleep, and I don't know why. I've always thought it was fire, and it is fire, and you should do it too. Wear socks to sleep and take a hot shower 60 to 90 minutes before bed. So before making the slideshow, I didn't know that you should do it 60 to 90 minutes before bed. I've always done it like 30 minutes before I go to sleep, and that works awesome for me. But I guess you should do it like an hour before. So that's super cool for me to know. Put on short socks. If you're like me, you have leg hair, and it gets annoying if you put on long socks that like poke through the long part of the sock that comes up your leg. So put on like the ankle ones. That's the one I like to do. Okay, the hot shower will signal in your body a drop in temperature, and it will naturally get ready for sleep. That's a fact. It relaxes muscles and reduces stress, and improves blood flow. Pause. Warm feet allows heat to escape and cools your body's core temperature. This is all really cool stuff. Studies show wearing socks can help you fall asleep 15 to 20 minutes faster by improving circulation and temperature. So, LTDR, take a hot shower and put on socks before bed. And I know this sounds like a lot of stuff, but all this stuff takes like 5 minutes. Like it's a one-time purchase for a lifetime investment. A lot of this stuff. So just trust. Okay, sex. Pause. This is for the married men. Okay, because I'm Christian. I'm not gonna advise y'all to have sex outside of marriage, of course. But for the married men and the married people watching this, you can partake in this section. But for the rest of y'all, just ignore it. So, sex. After orgasm, your body releases oxytocin and prolactin, which make you feel relaxed and sleepy. And for those of you who have engaged in this activity, I'm sure you've realized, like, after you have sex, you don't really want to do anything but go to sleep. Reduces stress and anxiety. So, sex lowers cortisol. Cortisol is your stress hormone, helping you feel calm and ready for rest. Also, if you don't know, oxytocin is a chemical released in your brain when you, it's the love chemical. And prolactin is a chemical that helps you feel relaxed and calm. All right. So it lowers blood pressure and heart rate. This makes it easier for your body to wind down and enter deep sleep. Physical exhaustion. The physical effort of sex tires your muscles, making your body more ready for sleep. All right. Let me grow up. Boosts melatonin. The release hormones also helps regulate your circadian rhythm, promoting deeper sleep. So that's a bunch of fancy jargon saying having sex will help you sleep better and it'll help your circadian rhythm. Your circadian rhythm is your internal sleep system. Okay. So LTDR, if you're married, have sex before bed. 7 to 9 hours a night. Okay, so 7 is minimum. I usually get 7 or less, which is why I'm making this video. I'm trying to keep myself accountable and get better with sleeping. So 7 hours is like bare minimum. Do not go under 7. There's some crazy people, some crazy-minded people on the internet, like Jocko Willink, awesome dude, but he sleeps like 4 hours sometimes, and that's crazy. We're not Navy SEALs, okay? Let's sleep 7 hours a night, at least. Or Goggins probably sleeps like 3 hours. All right, muscle repair and growth. So when you sleep, your body actually releases HGH, which is your human growth hormone. And what HGH does is it helps rebuild and strengthen muscles after workouts. So this is specifically correlated to muscle growth. All right, I gotta hurry up because my MacBook's gonna die soon. Okay, so better workout performance. Poor sleep equals less strength. If you've ever squatted, and you should be squatting, don't skip legs. But if you've ever squatted after a poor night rest, bro, it is miserable. You feel so weak. So poor sleep equals less strength, endurance, and focus in the gym. So good sleep equals the opposite of all that. So good sleep boosts testosterone recovery. Testosterone helps with building muscle, and sleep keeps levels high. Prevents muscle loss. Not enough sleep increases cortisol, which is your stress hormone, which can break down muscle. Sleeping good helps with appetite control. Poor sleep messes with hunger hormones, making it harder to stick to your diet. That is an absolute fact. Every day I go, not every day, but every time I lose sleep and I go to work, I usually end up being worse on my diet. It's just how it works. Okay, I'm trying to wrap this up and hurry up. Morning sunlight. Morning sunlight will let your body know it's morning time. Shocker, I know. This will set your circadian rhythm and let your body know when to release melatonin. This will increase sleep quality and give you more energy for the day because the sun signaled to your body that it is time to be awake. In short, getting 10 to 30 minutes of sun in the morning will help a lot. I do not do this because I wake up at 5 and I leave for work at 6, and the sun is not out at that time. So, like I said, again, a lot of this stuff I don't do. Not a lot, like a few of the things. But I just want to optimize. Like this is This is complete optimization for muscle growth and sleep. I do like 95% of this stuff. Okay, so if you don't work super early at your job, like get some sun first thing in the morning. It'll really help your sleep. So stick to a bedtime and a wake up time. You want to stick at least within an hour. So like if you usually wake up at 5, don't ever wake up later than 6, right? And you want to keep those times set. It's super important. This will help your circadian rhythm and it'll let your body know to consistently release melatonin at similar times, which means your body will get tired at similar times every single day and you'll get into the habit of a wake up time and bedtime. Set alarms for both. I set an alarm when to go to sleep and set alarms when to wake up. Okay, track it. So track your sleep. Simply tracking any behavior increases productivity by bringing awareness and self-accountability to the behavior. That goes for spending money, working out, going to the gym, any of that stuff. You should be tracking all the things you care about. You should be using Google Calendar to do all those things. I'll go into more of that stuff later, but this is my first video, so I just wanted to pick one topic. When you track things, you become the observer of your own actions, making it harder to mess up. So increases consistency, improves motivation, provides insight, and will let you know which of the habits I've shared work for your sleep quality the best. That's fire, because you're going to know exactly, okay, if I put socks on and I go to sleep and I track it, this actually doesn't do anything for me. It would, but I'm just giving you an example. Right? Or when I take the hot shower and then I put the socks on and I use the noise machine, the weighted blanket in the cold, dark room, and I have my face mask on and I have sex before bed with my wife, and you do all these things and you get really good sleep and you use your tracker, and you're like, okay, he's right, he knows what he's talking about. Right? Or you can see some of it doesn't have a big impact, some of it does. So I suggest the Oura Ring for tracking your sleep. Again, I don't have this one yet, but I'm going to get one soon. It has the best battery life, and I think it could last like 6 to 7 days. That's not a sponsorship, but if it was, I would have done it shamelessly. Okay, I don't have one yet, but I will be getting one soon. Bonus, Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker. So if you want to learn more about sleep and why it's super important, then read the book Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker. I have not read the book, but my mentor has, and he says it's a good book. So LTDR, get good sleep. Sleep 8 to 9 hours a night. If you're training super hard in the gym, which you should be, you need to get that sleep. You need to get that rest. Take the supplementation. Get the sleep mask. Get the white noise machine, the weighted blanket. Have a blackout curtains and a sleep mask. Have sex before bed. Take a hot shower. Put the socks on. Also, I use a fan on top of it, on top of the cold room. Do all of this stuff, and I promise you, your sleep will be better. Also, cut the caffeine out by 2 p.m. Okay? Just do 3 to 5 of these things. Do 3 to 5 of the actions I wrote in here, and your sleep will be way better. So that's the end of my first YouTube video. For those of you who do not follow me or subscribe to my channel, follow, turn my notifications bell on, and comment what you found most helpful about this video. Also follow me on Instagram at Skinny2Herculean. That's HERCULEAN. And go in the link in my description, join my school community, and follow me on TikTok. Till then, I will be posting every single Monday at 5 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. Peace.